for being with us tonight. I'm Amber Noggle.
And I'm Brandon Taylor. Right now, the Iowa County Sheriff's Office is investigating a fight that happened at a barn in the town of Pulaski. Video shows a group of boys attacking a black boy and using racial slurs.
Lucas Kim talked with a community leader and friend of the family of the boy who was attacked. He's got you covered on her plea to law enforcement. We want to warn you, some of this video may be disturbing to watch. We're also blurring faces because many are believed to be minors.
Cell phone video appears to show a group of teenagers attacking a 14-year-old African-American teen from Platteville in the town of Pulaski on Saturday, August 16.
And I'm looking at the video, and it tore my heart.
Lynn Parrott is the city of Platteville's alderperson at large and says she was shocked to see the video. The victim's mother sent it to her.
The slurs and the verbiage and beat that N-word and F that N-word and bust his eye. Like, why?
I had to pause it for a minute, y'all. Did y'all just hear what this black woman said? She says, why? Why did this happen? I don't understand, man. I really don't understand. Like, it's like we're lost. We don't really understand or comprehend where we're at. You see? But let's continue.
Bust his eye. Like, why?
Parrott says thankfully the 14-year-old boy is recovering from his injuries and is okay physically, but says he's emotionally scarred from this incident forever.
He could get to the point where he doesn't trust. He'll lose friends. He'll withdraw. Is that what we want?
Parrott says the boy told his family that he was a target because the group mistook him for someone else. You can see in the video some of the people there tried to break up the fight. Iowa County Sheriff Mike Peterson says the fight is under investigation.
So this lady here, she's still in the midst of her delusion. She's still in a delusional state because she mentioned that, the little boy has, he trusted that, these little white boys that he went to the party with, he trusted these kids. And now he's going to lose trust. He's going to lose friendships over this incident. So this happened August 16th. It is now September 2nd. And this is nowhere on the news media. This is not being covered. This happened in Pulaski, Iowa, August 16th on a Saturday, on a Sabbath day. Go figure. But yeah, so these kids, he's the only black kid at the barn. This happened in a barn. They were trying to shove this black kid in a meat grinder. You could see it in the video. They were trying to stuff this kid down in the meat grinder. Look at this. Look at these animals, y'all. Look at these red devils. It must be like 10 or 14 of them stumping this little 14-year-old kid. And some of the kids that's attacking this kid, they're in their 20s. These are adults that are in this crowd beating up on this 14-year-old kid. You see? This is them trying to stuff him in a meat grinder. You see, they're in a barn in Iowa somewhere. These are a bunch of corn-fed, red devils. That's who's doing this. They're trying to lynch this kid on a Saturday night. You see, they probably all been drinking Jim Beam or whatever. That's all they got time to do here in these little podunk country towns, And the population in this town, they said, is 98% white, 2% black. Why would you go to a party, where you outnumbered? You the only one. You the only one in the party. You see? And it never fails, when stuff like this goes down, they're all on the same accord. You see, you could hear them in the background saying, F that N-word. I say F that N-word, kill him. They all on one accord. None of them in the crowd said, let's call the police. Let's try to save this 14-year-old kid's life. You see? Now, what would happen if this black kid pulled out a knife and gutted one of these red devils? What would happen? There would be an uproar. They would want this kid to be prosecuted as an adult. You see? But my thing is, when are we going to learn? When are we going to learn that, being in friendship with these people, it's not going to happen? You'll never catch me. You'll never catch me by myself with 5, 10, 20 red devils, by myself. You'll never find it. You won't catch me dead doing it, because I don't trust my enemies. The Bible tells you, do not trust your enemies. You see, that's the problem with that black woman in the video. She doesn't realize, she's sitting up in the Christian church on Sunday. She's probably the only one in the church, you see. But she's sitting up in the Christian church thinking that, she's welcome. In the meantime, they all probably talking about her behind her back. How they wish that she wouldn't show up. Wishing this ill will on this woman, in the church. You see, she's paying her tithes. But, yeah, man, what would y'all do? How would you instruct your kids, footsteps after seeing this? Put in the comments. Would you allow your child to go anywhere where there's a bunch of red devils, at a party or at a church function, a summer a camp, anywhere with these devils? Would you allow your child, to go on a camping trip? Put in the comments what y'all think. Like and subscribe. Shalom.